Today I will be actually going out. In case I am able to take 4 o'clock, I will take it. But I will send a message. It is not there. Yeah. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्णः परमात्मने नमः। So, the 7th chapter, we were seeing how Bhagavad has classified bhaktas, abhaktas and bhaktas. So, the abhaktas are मूढ़ाः नमां दुष्कृतिनो मूढ़ाः प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमाः मायया पहृतज्ञानाः आसुरं भावमाश्रिताः. So those people who have no connection with either Ishvara, Shastra or anything, they are Nastikas. That is why he calls them Moodhaha, Dushkritinaha, because their Papa karmas are fructifying and they are unable to connect. Then he just says that and he leaves it, and now he is going to explain the types of bhaktas. So Chaturvida bhajante mam janas sukritino arjuna arto jitnyasurartharti jnani cha bharatarshabha. Okay, so he has classified very clearly all the bhaktas. It doesn't matter what that is, but all where there is a connection with the spirituality, the Almighty, the Shastras, Ishvara, he says they are the people who can be classified as 4 types. Chaturvida bhajante ma. So we saw them: Artha Bhakti, Arthartha Bhakti, Jitnyasu Bhakti and Jnani Bhakti. Artha Bhakti is called contract Bhakti. Okay. Arthartha Bhakti is called security Bhakti. The third one is Jitnyasu Bhakti, where I have only one desire. I want to really understand who am I, who is Ishvara. And the last one is the one who has understood Ishvara and himself, Jnani Bhakti. So, as there are different maturity in terms of understanding, these 4 different types of bhaktas are classified. And it will not be wrong to say that it initiates and starts with Artha Bhakti and Arthartha Bhakti. Okay, so which is we can call Adhama Bhakti. Then Madhyama Bhakti, which is Jitnyasu Bhakti, and Uttama Bhakti, which is Jnani Bhakti. Okay, so we saw that. One important aspect to see in this is the way it is shown, or the way it is explained, or the way it is put. It looks as though that we can classify people as bhaktas. That is one way of looking at it. But there is another important way of looking at it which is more meaningful to us. Every person is an Artha Bhakta, Arthartha Bhakta, Jitnyasu Bhakta, depending on situation. So we also, when you look internally towards yourself, when we look towards ourselves, we all start with Artha Bhakti. Okay. If we do not progress to Arthartha Bhakti and Jitnyasu Bhakti, then it is our bad luck. But ideally, these four are seen in us. And that is how it should be looked at. To review predominantly what type of a bhakta I am. Because that gives a gap and that gives a direction. When there is a gap and there is a direction, then you put effort in that way to reduce the gap and follow in the same direction. So if we are Artha Bhakta, we will put some effort to become Arthartha Bhakta. So if I was just thinking about Ishvara during any specific occasion, then I slowly mature out that every day I think and pray to God so that give me all the good, keep all the bad away from me, let mera uddhari hone do, everything good. Once we mature from that, then again the higher order questions come. Who am I? Jiva Jagat Ishvara, Bandhana Moksha and Moksha Sadhana. The 6 questions which can come. Ko nama bandha katamesha agatah katam pratisthasya katham vimoksha ko savanatma kataeva atma. So the 6 questions which is asked very clearly in Viveka Chudamani, the same thing. Who am I? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandhana, Moksha and Moksha Sadhana. These are higher order. Once we are in that type of a bhakti and an inquiry, then Shravana Manana Nididhyasana starts. Okay. So with Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, with Shravana and Manana, that conviction of that Jitnyasu Bhakti is very much established and you start actually moving towards Jnani Bhakti. And the highest mature Jitnyasu Bhakti is Jnani Bhakti with Nididhyasanam. That conviction and at all time Aham Brahmasmi, that Jnanam, when it is there, then I am a Jnani. Is it clear? So these 4 types of bhakti, rather than looking at it as a yardstick to label people, not compare, we label people that way. We shouldn't do that. It should be used internally, and here we will be surprised to see that although we are predominantly, maybe we can call yourself as Jnani Bhakti or Arthartha Bhakti, but when situation comes, we come down to Artha Bhakti also, and sometimes Abhakta also. ये सब करके क्या मिला? भगवान के घर में अंधेर है, देर नहीं है. That Bhagwan is not helping me at all. इतना सब करके क्या हुआ? क्या benefit मिला? So we start हमारे खुद का आस्था पे we start doubting. Okay, so it is important to look at these four from internally and check, am I slipping down to any of the lower levels of bhakti based on the situation? So especially when a person is hungry, doesn't have any means, you can't teach spirituality. What you need to give is first food. That person will never even consider or think about spirituality. Correct? So that hierarchy of needs, so far as our basic needs and security needs are fulfilled, then comes your esteem, self-actualization and all those needs of the hierarchy will follow. And no matter if we believe that we are predominantly matured, it is only for situation to decide and label us in reality what we are. In a perfectly controlled situation like now, very nicely we will talk of Tattvajnana. But when it comes to a reality in our situation, in our day-to-day life, that time this knowledge, everything goes off and we will become Artha Bhakta or Arthartha Bhakta, the way it works. Okay. And the idea is, at that time, Adhyaya and Shloka, very good. We are in the 7th chapter and we are in the 16th Shloka. Okay, Hari. So when the situation comes, that is the time of our real testing. In a perfectly, like, when someone, especially this car companies and all, they say under perfect condition this is the mileage. If they are talking of 15, 16 liters of, kilometers per liter of petrol, we will never get it. And every time we will go and say हमारा 9-10 का ऊपर जाता ही नहीं, 9-10 का ऊपर, अरे कैसा जाएगा? The road conditions are such a way, your traffic conditions are such a way, how will it go? Correct? And hence that reality check we need to have with ourselves. Although these are ideal and perfect, when in the time of need, is this jnanam working for us? That is the real test. And we will have to put it, deliberately be sensitive and put this knowledge to test at small situation in a controlled way. We need to do it. Whenever small things we are missing out, losing, is my astha firm? What type of a bhakta I am? Do I get agitated? Do I really feel the miss out, or do I just take it as prasada bhavana? That introspection will tell us truly that I will not go below this level of my bhakti. Okay, that is necessary. We need to do this check. Intermittently we need to do the check. अपने आप आ जाएगा, नहीं आता है. Because the more we become sensitive to it, then it comes. The more we are insensitive to it, apne aap with age and with no, it will not come. Okay. Maybe with age and experience, sensitivity may improve a little, but often we see that higher sensitive people become lower sensitive as the age goes up. जो शांत रहते हैं वो चिड़चिड़ा होने लगते हैं. So all those things which is by vruddhastavat chinta sattaha, this is natural. Then what do I do to it? If I know this knowledge, what should I do? Am I prepared for vruddhastavat? Am I really planning and preparing myself for vruddhastavat? That I will not become chinta. I will do chintan, I will not get into chinta. This is a very, very conscious effort to be put regularly in all the day-to-day reality situations, which gives a clear feedback in what direction we are going. And if we don't do it, then all this remains a theory. In our day-to-day life, we are as good or as bad as anyone else. Okay, so some of these are very specific to sadhanas now. You have to get into some of these sadhanas. Sadhanas means keeping a goal in mind, being sensitive about it, and always having that check. If required, supportive systems have to be prepared and geared up. I need to make my mind firm, I need to make my mind bold. All that are supportive systems. That needs to be done. That will not come by itself. अपने आप आएगा नहीं, परिपक्वता अपने आप आएगा. No, it doesn't come. Okay, right. So now, having said this, Krishna wants to clearly, as he said that, what was the sankalpa which he has done in this particular chapter? What was Krishna's sankalpa in this chapter? Hopefully someone remembers that. मय्यासक्तमनाः पार्थ योगं युञ्जन्मदाश्रयः असंशयं समग्रं मां यथा ज्ञास्यसि तच्छृणु ज्ञानन्तेऽहं सविज्ञानम् इदं वक्ष्याम्यशेषतः. I will give you this complete knowledge of what Bhagavan Ishvara is. That is my lower form, higher form, all that he said. So which means bhakti will be again now categorized into two. One for my lower form and one for my higher form. So if you look at the framework how it is, he has mentioned what is lower form, higher form. Then he says, how do you know this form? Is only when you become a bhakta. If you are not a bhakta, you will not even know this. Okay. But if you become a bhakta, then there are 4 types which he has classified. Now these 4 types which he has classified, he has taken 3 together and made it into one group, and the 4th one as the other group. The 3 together which he has made one group is called Sakama Bhakti. So Artha, Arthartha and Jitnyasu Bhakti is Sakama Bhakti. And Jnani Bhakti is Nishkama Bhakti. Nishkama Upasana and Sakama Upasana. So we will have 6 shlokas from 20 to 26, which is going to be explanation of Sakama Bhakti. Then 3 shlokas, 27, 28, 29 or 3 or 4 shlokas will be Nishkama Bhakti. Okay? Right. So now we will see how the details of Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti is. But before doing that, we need to understand why he is giving so much of details about the Jnani Bhakti. So in 2 more shlokas he is going to give clarity. Says the 17th shloka, Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Priyo hi jnaninotyartham Priyo hi jnaninotyartham Aham sacha mama priyaha Aham sacha mama priyaha. So Tesham Jnani, that is the reason this Jnani Nitya Yuktaha Eka Bhaktaha Vishishyate Priyaha hi Jnaninaha atyartham aham saha cha mama priyaha. Tesham nityayuktaha ekabhaktihi jnani vishishyate. Aham hi jnaninaha atyartham priyaha. Sa cha mama priyaha. Okay, verbs have to be given asmi, asti, jnani and all. This has to be given in brackets. That's okay. Says tesham. What is tesham? Among them. So among these four, so first he gives only the four. Priyohi jnanino tyartam. No, before that he says artho jitnyasurartharti jnanicha bharatarshava. Over. That sukritanaha, those people who have got a good karma phala, sukritin, they are classified into four and he has given the name. Now among this four, now he is going to give his preference. Tesham jnani nityayuktaha ekabhaktir vishishyate priyaha jnaninaha atyartham aham sacha mama priyaha. So among these people, ekabhaktaha nityayuktaha jnani vishishyate. Tesham, among these people, hopefully it reduces. Sorry. Nitya yuktaha. Yuktaha means yuktaha, coming from the word yuj, to join. Nityaha, all time, who is completely sync with me. Nitya yuktaha, at all times connected, at all times fully joined. Okay, in unison. How? Eka bhaktihi, with a steadfast mind. So, this jnani, what is his difference compared to the other three? The other three are situational. The first one is when there is a need. The other one is for a limited time, but every day. The third one is for extensive period of time, but there are surely times when he is not connected also. Okay. But this jnani, at all times, at all moment, is always connected with me. And he is steadfast in it. He is committed to it. Okay. Vishishyate, this is his separate characteristic compared to the others, and that is the qualifier. Now he says, because of this, what happens? Atyartham priyaha jnaninaha aham hi. Okay. For this jnani, I am the most revered, loved, whatever you call. There is only that one person that jnani always connects with at all time, which is me. Aham priyaha. That is why I like him. And that is why he likes me. So, as last time I mentioned, this is a way, it's a way of putting and communicating. As we write in our letters, I, so and so, You show it as two different people, but it is actually me. So I love this jnani, and the jnani loves me at all times. And his Shraddha is Achanchala Nishkapata Bhakti at all times. Never falters. That is why he is very dear to me and I am very dear to him. Because I am very dear to him, he is very dear to me. Okay. When will such a situation happen? That no one else or nothing becomes dearer than Bhagavan. When you completely are able to superimpose you and Bhagavan and you same. But for a jnani who has already done Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, he has a knowledge that there is no difference between me and Bhagavan other than the Upadhi. Are you getting? So it becomes very easy. Why? Because who is the most dear to you? Tell me. Yourself. There can be no one else dearer than yourself to you. Okay. So that concept that I am the most dearer to me, and if I put I in one place and Bhagavan in the other place, Bhagavan is the most dear to me and I am the most dear to Bhagavan. So it's in short saying I equal to Bhagavan. Okay. How can we make such a inference? How can you make such an inference? Because the same Shastra, there are going to be other people who are inferring that Bhagavan is Bhagavan, I am me, and we both are very dear to each other. The Dvaita is going to tell it that way. The Advaita says, no, you have to see it this way, that for that again we have to go back to the Shastras. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad brings it out. Nava are patyuh kamaya patyuh priyo bhavati atmanastu kamaya patyuh priyo bhavati nava are jaya kamaya jaya priyo bhavati atmanastu kamaya jaya priyo bhavati nava are putrah kama. Like that he keeps giving examples. He says Putrah kamaya putrah priyo bhavati. Do you feel that you are actually loving your husband, wife, children, or anyone for that matter? He says, no. Atmanastu kamaya putrah priyo bhavati. It is your reflection of love to yourself which is being portrayed through the object which you are telling that is loving you. My own love to myself is getting portrayed through that object or the Vishaya called the Putra, Patni or anyone back to me itself. So I am loving myself, which is the truth. Why? If Putra, Patni and everyone does what exactly I want and is in that particular relationship, then they are Priya. What if they decide to do differently than what you think? That is the time I don't want to see your face. What happened? Because I am Ananda embodied at always. When my Ananda gets reflected through you back to me, I am happy. When my Ananda is not getting reflected through you, I am unhappy, and I don't want to be unhappy because I am a happiness embodied. I am Nitya Ananda. So I don't want that to get reflected through a unhappy situation, so I go away from you. समझ में आ रहा है? I always want Ananda reflection, my Ananda reflecting back to me. Now, if you are giving me unhappiness, then I go away from it so that I maintain my Ananda. Okay? And that is what Priyohi Jnanino Tyartam Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha. I get reflected through the Jnani gets reflected through me, and we both are no two different, but we are the same. One is getting reflected. My Chidanandaha is getting reflected as Chit Pratibimba back to me through a Vishaya. So if Bhagavan says Jnani is the Vishaya. If Jnani says Bhagavan is the Vishaya, finally it is the Ananda which is getting reflected. That is no two different Ananda, it is only one Ananda. Are you able to get this? It is a little tough and a terse one, but if you have tried to understand it earlier when it is told, it becomes a very easy concept. Okay, so very clearly, Priyohi Jnanino Yartam Aham Sacha Mama Priyaha is Advaita way of talking Advaita. It is a pure Advaita, but portrayed as a Dvaita way. And the justification is given by the Shastras. Why? Because Aham Nitya Ananda Swarupaha Asmi. I can only emit Ananda because I am only Ananda at all times. And anything which is obstructing of reflecting this Ananda, I want to keep that away. I want to keep that away. हम जिससे भी चिढ़ते हो आप उससे दूर रहते हो क्यों? Because my Ananda is not getting reflected, that body is not perfectly reflecting my Ananda, so I keep away. समझ में आ रहा है? Another very, very, very important aspect which this particular shloka tells us, just Artha Bhakti, Arthartha Bhakti, Jijnasu Bhakti will not work. Bhagavan himself says that only Bhakti Yoga will not work. One has to come to Jnana. That is why he says Priyohi Jnanino Tyartaha. Among all the four bhaktas, that is why where we say that there are four types of bhaktis. There are four types of yoga. Okay, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. No. There is only one way by which you can get moksha, that is by Jnanam. The others are subservient, which brings you to that Jnana. And hence, Artho Jitnyasur Artharthi will have Bhakti, but unless Shravana Manana Nididhyasana happens, you cannot become Jnani Bhakti. And that is why Priyohi Jnanino Tyartaha, Bhagavan says, unless knowledge, Atma Jnanam, is completely understood, conviction, and completely changed your existing habit with Nididhyasanam, and where you completely see me and you are no two different, then you are a Jnani, and hence that Jnani is Mama Priyaha. Okay, so if anyone says any other way for moksha is possible, the answer is yes, perfectly okay. All that can bring you to one place, but the final, from that penultimate to go in, is only one. That is why we say in a temple you will have many gates. Uttara Dwara, Dakshina Dwara, Purva Dwara, Paschima Dwara. There are 4 gates and all will be there. You can come from any gate. You can go from any gate. No problem. But how many doors and how many openings and how many ways are there for the Garbhagriha? Only one. So you may come from any, but finally if you want to attain, you have to go only through that. And hence, Jnanam cannot be replaced by anything else. The others will only aid and support you to go to Jnanam. And Jnanam is the only way, because then you will become a Jnani, and only if you are a Jnani, Aham cha sa mama priyaha can happen. Otherwise, that bhakti without Jnanam, however great that bhakti will be, has its limitation. It cannot go higher than that. Okay, so very clearly in this shloka, it clarifies that Jnanam is the only way for moksha, for Ishvara Prapti, for Bandha Vimochana. Jnanam is the only way. The others are helping, and the bhakti is a very, very strong bondage to come towards Jnana. Okay, so that is one. Then the second thing what it says is, from this limited time of, we have to slowly move ahead, that Ishvara as a concept which is there in a limited place has to get to what Shastra talks as he is limitless. From Sakama, it should go to Nishkama. If it remains in Sakama, that is not going to give moksha. Unless it goes to Nishkama, boundaryless, all-pervading, omniscient, omnipresent, that going from aparabhakti to parabhakti is the only way ahead for moksha. Why? Anything in apara, anything, you take anything in apara has a limitation. Is incomplete. How can an incomplete thing give you complete purnatva? Logically not possible. So only which is purna can give you purnatvam, and purna is only in nishkama, not in sakama. Only in para and not in apara. You will use the apara to come to para. You will use artha, jijnasu to come to jnani. You will have to use all that. You will have to start from sakama and go to nishkama. But whatever I do in sakama, although some places the Shastra says you will get all these things, it is to market that concept to you that you will be made, you will get some interest to do it. Because if you don't do it, further growth is not there. And hence, the Shastra brings it as though, because based on the topic, it will say that is the only best. Like you would have seen Atma Sanyama Yoga, it will say only that is the way which will give you moksha. If you go to Karma Yoga, it will say Karma Nehyava Samsiddhihi. There is no other way other than Karma Yoga to give moksha. But we have to understand clearly that will bring it to a particular point. From there, Jnanam has to take it ahead. Correct? As we say, how did you come to VT? I took an auto and then a train. Which means what? I didn't come to VT station with auto and then from VT station I came by train. No. I came to Thane station by auto and from Thane station I took a train. So train was necessary for me. So the auto will remain an auto, but you can always say auto is very helpful to me to come to VT. Yes, nothing wrong in it. Okay. So this two things gets very clear. Jnanam 100% needed for moksha. Nothing else can substitute Jnanam, and that is the only way. And all the other ways which are subservient to Jnanam, they aid Jnanam, so you can't drop it like a hot potato. I will only hold on to Jnanam and I will not take care of karma and bhakti. No, that will also not work. So we need to know what is required when. If you are preliminary as Chitta Shuddhi with Sakama Bhakti, and then slowly, if you want to go to the highest levels, Nishkama has to come in, and with Jnanam that will work. Is it clear? Okay. Then, Priyo hi jnanino tyartam aham sacha mama priyaha. And he says, Udara sarva evaite jnani tvameva me matam asthitas sahi yuktatma mamevanuttamangatim. Suddenly Krishna remembers one thing. He says, Are if I tell like this, there may be a problem. There may be a problem. I need to take care of that. It's like saying, I have got 4 children. My 4th child is the most intelligent. Indirectly means what? The other 3 are not intelligent. No, this is what we infer. But it may be true that the other 3 are not as intelligent as the 4th, which doesn't mean the other 3 are not intelligent. So such a mistake people should not commit. Okay, especially the bhaktas who are Artha Bhakta, Arthartha Bhakta and Jijnasu Bhakta should not feel depressed. So he started this statement. So after telling the earlier one, he said, Oh, gadbad ho gaya, maine to aisa bol diya. So he immediately corrected it in the next statement. Let us see. Udara sarva evaite jnani tvameva me matam astitas sahi yuktatma mameva anuttamang gatim. Udaraha sarve eva ete jnani tu atma eva me matam asthitaha sa hi yuktatma mam eva anuttamam gatim. Okay. Ete sarve udaraha santi jnani tu mama atma eva asti iti me matam saha hi yuktatma anuttamang gatim mam eva asthitaha asti. How consistent in the thought process he is. By this we come to know, very consistent in the thought process, very clear. No ambiguity is living here. He says, Ete sarve udaraha santi. What is udaraha? Noble. Indeed, all are noble. Who all? Chaturveda bhajante mam jana sukritinaha. Ete chaturvidaha bhajanti janaha sukritinaha sarve udaraha. All are noble. तो सबसे पहला क्या किया? बाकी 3 लोग who are the majority उनका वोट पकड़ लिया. But you don't have to feel bad. I value all of you. You all are noble. आप लोग बहुत अच्छा करते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Perfectly good. मेरा आँख है, मेरा कान है. I can hear you, I can see you, and I acknowledge you fully. Okay. Parantu jnani mama atma eva. But my heart and soul is the jnani. हाथ पाँव सब काम करते हैं. गॉड फॉरबिडन कुछ आया और हाथ काटना पड़ा, I will be ready to cut it to protect the rest of the body. वैसा ही everything is fine, but what cannot be replaced? My heart. And my heart is who? The jnani. Why? There is no difference between me and him. So he is my heart. Correct? That. So all the things are fantastic, all are very good. I completely acknowledge that. But understand the jnani indeed is my heart. Iti me matam. Krishna has become now Krishna here. Not Sri Krishna Paramatmane Namaha. As Krishna he says, now this is my view. That means you can have a different view. But I am putting across my view. Why? I have seen my heart to be the jnani. And the rest of the people are surely noble and they are very, very necessary, good, perfect. But my heart is, my Atma, my soul is the jnani. This is my view. Clarity, emphasis, direction without pushing anyone. I have just put my view. आपको जो करना है करो. Okay, but very clear. Now what he says, सही युक्तात्मा अनुत्तमां गतिं मामेव आस्थितः. He, that word he means indeed, emphasis. Saha jnanihi he yuktatma. He is the only yukta, eligible, noble person, anuttamang gatim, to reach that highest level. He is the only person who reaches that highest level compared to other four. Other fours are also there in the running race. See, in a race there are many competing, but only one person comes first. The others are behind. That doesn't mean that the others are useless. No, the others have put effort and they have come a long way. But this person has hit the final and has come first. Why? Mam astitaha. He is completely, what is sthitaha? Standing. Astitaha means he is completely 100% submitted to me. Submitted to whom now? Who is me here? Atma. His Nishkama Bhakti, his Nishkama Jnanam is highest. The Atma Jnanam is highest, and hence at all times, at all places, at all levels, his Jnanam is working. Which is the right Jnana? He is in highest of the minorities. He is in the highest of the minorities, huh? Not at all in the majority. But Mama Atma. Are you able to get that? So very, very clear justification. Why is he saying this? Because he is now seeding something in this particular shloka. What is he wanting to say here? Go back to shloka number 14. 13 and 14. Tribhir gunamayair bhavaihi ebhis sarvamidam jagat mohitan nabhijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. The other three, Tribhir gunamayair ebhihi sarvamidam jagat, they are using the means called jagat, which is coming out of Mama Maya, to reach me. Mohitan nabhijanati. They are mohitam. Okay. Then what did he say? दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. मम माया दुरत्यया दैवी gunamayi. This prakriti is mine, but duratyaya, it will surely delude and will not allow you to reach me. Okay? The level of delusion is different for all this artho, jitnyasu, artharthi. That means artho, jitnyasu, artharthi are which upasakas? Nishkama Brahma upasaka or Sakama Prakriti upasaka? Are you able to get this? So if you are Sakama Prakriti upasaka, he has already told Mama Maya Duratyaya, it will delude you. Okay. Only Mameva Ye Prapadyante Ke Ye Jnaninaha Mameva Prapadyante Etam Mayam Tarantite Aham Cha Sa Mama Priyaha Ma Astitaha Sahi Yuktatma Mam Eva Anuttamang Gatim. Are you able to connect these two now? So whatever he said there, he is giving its practical application here. There he gave a principle. Here he is giving the proof of the principle that is why only the jnani gets anuttama angatim. Okay. And what do the other so-called ajnani, still bhaktas, what will they get? Uttama angatim, not anuttama angatim. What is uttama angatim? Suvarlokaha, Bhuvarlokaha, Maharlokaha, Tapolokaha, anything can come, or Bhulokaha. Okay. They get some benefit, but they will not get the highest benefit, because the highest benefit gets only for the highest person who is eligible, and the highest person who is eligible is who has understood the shloka number 14 and does not become a prey to Mama Maya Duratyaya. They are clearly into Mameva Ye Prapadyante Nityayuktaha Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate Sa Eva Jnaninaha Priyaha Aham Cha Mama Priyaha. And because of that, Anuttamang Gatim Yuktatma. Is it clear? Because they are not deluded, because they are high viveki, they will get unparalleled benefit, which is moksha. Is it clear? Okay. Now, this is an introduction to tell that te sarve udaraha mama maya duratyaya prapadyante. How arthaha, artharthi, jitnyasunaha, they will all get, because of their sakama bhakti, they will get different benefits. And because of the nishkama bhakti, the jnani gets moksha. Okay, so from the principle, see, please understand how did this chapter start. He says, I will tell you my forms, my lower form, higher form. Then he started with the lower form. And before that he made a statement. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam vetti tattvataha. Among many, 90% are abhaktas. The 10% bhaktas are who are sitting in this category, Artho Jitnyasur Artharthi Jnani Cha Bharatarshava. In that also, Artho Jitnyasur Artharthi are Sakama Bhaktaha, and only one Jnani is a Nishkama Bhaktaha. Okay. He clearly clarifies Sakama Bhakti is one who uses me as the means to get to their goal, including Jitnyasu, because the prayer of the Jitnyasu is Bhagavan, I am ready to leave everything, but I want Jnana, and only you can give. So here also, the Jitnyasu person is only with a golden shackle, the others are with iron shackle. That's the only difference, but both are with shackles. And he is prepared to, he knows Jnanam, he is ready to give up even that if required, as per how the Guru says. Very clear. So this person, Jnani, who has gone to Nishkama Bhakti, he is getting the maximum benefit. So his benefits are extolled. But at the same time, now if you don't talk about Sakama, those people will get demotivated. And hence, he starts Udara Sarvayete Evete. Those people who are with Sakama Bhakti, they are also noble. And based on whatever their eligibility is, I give. He will tell later on. How he gives, he will tell that. Okay. But that Nishkama Bhaktaha Jnani, Astitas Sahi Yuktanam Anuttamangatim, for him the benefit is very clear. There is no doubt about it. It will be moksha and only moksha and nothing else but other than moksha. Is it clear? So now if he has given these benefits of bhakti, he has to explain them. He has now brought in Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti. He has to now explain them. And that is where in the next shloka from the 19th, he will start clarifying it. How does this Sakama person become Nishkama Bhakta? And then, what are the details of Sakama Bhakta from 20 to 26? Bahunam janmanam ante Jnanavan mam prapadyante Vasudeva sarvamiti Samahatma sadurlabha. He is now re-emphasizing what he has told till now. Bahunam janmanam ante Jnanavan mam prapadyate Vasudeva sarvamiti Samahatma sadurlabha. Bahunam janmanam ante Jnanavan mam prapadyante Vasudevaha sarvam iti saha mahatma sudurlabha. Jnanavan bahunam janmanam ante Vasudeva sarvamiti mam prapadyate sa mahatma durlabha. Sa mahatma durlabha means those noble souls are very, very few. Sudurlabha. Okay, not just durlabha, sudurlabha. Who are those noble souls? He says, Jnanavan bahunam janmanam ante. Now, see the construction of this statement. Jnanavan. Who is Jnanavan? Who is Bhagavan? Who is Dhanavan? Bhagavan also you may not know. Who is Dhanavan? That everyone will know. The possessor of Dhana is Dhanavan. The possessor of Bhaga is Bhagavan. So who is Jnanavan? The possessor of Jnanam is Jnanavan. Which Jnanam? Atma Jnanam. Is it just the Jnanam? No. Shravana Manana Nididhyasana Yukta Jnanavan. Jnani. Is it clear? Okay. Jnanavan Bahunam Janmanam Ante. Now you see what he says. The person who is knowledgeable after many years, Bahunam, many janmas, Janmanam Ante. Now the question will come, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Asti. Atava Jnanavan Bahunam Janmanam Ante Moksha Praptihi. A person who is Jnanavan after many janmas gets moksha, or after many janmas a person becomes Jnanavan and gets moksha. Which is correct?
Second one, sir.
By the second one.
So, because he has to keep trying to gain the knowledge, and after that only he can become a jnani.
So, after Shravana, are you Jnanavan or not Jnanavan? After Manana, you are Jnanavan or not Jnanavan?
So you gain the knowledge, but I'm not able to differentiate it.
Then, what is the definition of Jnanavan?
When he is able to realize that he is Atman. Okay.
So, Jnanavan is possessor of Jnana. Whom can you qualify as a possessor of Jnana? Who seemingly possesses it or actually possesses it?
Actually possesses it.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
So a Jnanavan is a person who actually possesses it. And when you say actually possessor is who? After Shravanam is it actually possessing? After Mananam is it actually possessing? Or after Nididhyasanam it is actually possessing?
After Nididhyasanam, once you...
So what is Shravanam? Seemingly possessing.
Yeah.
What is Mananam? Theoretically possessing. Correct na?
Yeah.
Shravanam में वो आते ना, I know the, देखो, there are 3 types of people you meet. First type of person, when you go to a new place, वो says, अरे ये जगह है ना, हाँ I know, अब यहाँ से जाओ, ऐसा करके वैसा करके ये करके वो करके वहाँ जाओ. That person would have never gone and doesn't know the road also. And you go based on that person's direction. After some time he himself will ask, where am I? We are called seemingly possessing. लगता है आ रहा है बोल के, लेकिन आता नहीं कुछ. The other person is at least 4-5 बार गया, he पक्का knows at least one route, how to reach there properly. The other person knows all the route and has got by all the route many a times and is very sure which is the best route. Haven't you experienced these three type of people in your life? Okay, so Jnanavan is only the third person. Even if one person knows only one route every time gone through, that person is not the Jnanavan because he doesn't know all the routes. He needs to know all the routes and everything, because then there is no doubt about any of the way. Right? So, Brahmavitapnoti param Brahmavit Brahma bhavati. That Brahmavit needs to know Brahman completely. To know Brahman completely, he needs to know Abrahman completely. If he needs to know your Nishkam or Nirupa, for that Sarupa has to be known very clearly. One needs to be in Advaita Jnanam. Dvaita Jnanam needs to be known completely. Because you have to negate all the Dvaita Jnanam and say it is Advaita. If I don't know Dvaita Jnanam, from what chance of getting Advaita Jnanam is impossible. Are you able to get this? So he says, Jnanavan mam prapadyante bahunam prapadyate bahunam janmanam ante. So bahunam janmanam ante aham jnanavan eva bhavati. Bahunam janmanam, why? That bahunam janmanam refers to Artha Bhakti, Arthartha Bhakti, Jijnasu Bhakti. How fast to travel that and move is in your hand. How fast I should drop the Artha Bhakti and go to Arthartha Bhakti and then drop it and go to Jijnasu Bhakti is in person's hand. Prayatna, effort. Then having come to Jnanam, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, that may take janmas. Right? So, that is why Bahunam Janmanam Ante, all the people who say one day we will reach, हम सिर्फ वो दिशा पे चल रहे, एक दिन हमें मालूम है हम पहुंचेंगे. एक दिन पहुंचेंगे कब? Only when you put the right effort in the right direction, where Jnanam, Guru, Shastra has to be there and Atma Jnanam has to be completely understood with Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and one day Bahunam Janmanam Ante Aham Jnani Bhavami. I will become a Jnani. I am a Jnani. What is that Jnanam? Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam. How is that Jnanam? Nitya Yuktaha. Okay. Nitya Yuktaha. Eka Bhaktya. Single-minded focus, no other thing. So Bahunam Janmanam Ante, only that can happen. Mam Prapadyante reaches me. Okay. And what does he, at that Janma, what is that realization? Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva Sarvamiti is a phrase. वासुदेव का बिना दूसरा कुछ है ही नहीं. वासुदेव सर्वमिति. That person, Anuttamangatim, will get moksha. And how many are there like that? Sa Mahatma, Sa Durlabhaha, very rarely available. Rarest of the rare commodity. Who? This Mahatma. Why? Because he has completely realized Vasudeva Sarvamiti. When in this Janma, and for him to come to in this Janma with this realization, he had to pass through Bahunam Janmanam. And that Bahunam Janmanam went through what? Artha Bhakti, Arthartha Bhakti, Jijnasu Bhakti, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, and finally in this Janma, his Prarabdha gets fructified for moksha. No more Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam. Now you tell me, for this person in Jnanam, what is Vasudeva? Vasudeva Sarvamiti, na? What is Vasudeva? Vasudeva's son is Vasudeva. Who is Vasudeva? Devaki and Vasudeva. So here they are referring to Krishna. Correct? When you say Vasudeva Sarvamiti means only Krishna is everything. Correct, na?
Yeah, true, sir.
Huh?
Here Vasudeva refers to Krishna only. That's what I feel.
Krishna is called Kalla Krishna. जन्म से चोरी है, सीधा सीधा साधा कुछ नहीं, रामा जैसा कुछ नहीं है, सब उल्टा सुल्टा बोल के लोगों को गुमराह करने का काम है कृष्ण का. He says Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is himself. बढ़िया है, वाह. Bahunam Janmanam Ante, I am the final. Who is proclaiming? He is proclaiming. Will you agree? थोड़ा नहीं लगता है पॉलिटिशियन है? कृष्णा पॉलिटिकल गेम नहीं खेल रहा इधर. थोड़ा इट इज स्मेलिंग लिटिल फिशी हियर. करेक्ट? It should, otherwise if you accept it then it's a blind faith. Then you will be ISKCON, Krishna consciousness. That consciousness will not be there, only Krishna will be there then. गड़बड़ हो जाएगा फिर. Why? The same person 5 shlokas before he says Nishkama Bhakti is the highest. And shamelessly in this shloka says Vasudeva Sarvamiti, which is Sakama, Saguna. From Nirguna jumping to Saguna and saying this Krishna is the final. Does it make sense? Because if it makes sense, then there is a problem. If it doesn't make sense, then we have to find out how to make sense out of it. Is there a confusion or is it clear?
There's a confusion, sir.
So the confusion has got created now. Answer is not there, which is fine. That is why I said Krishna जो है सीधा बात नहीं करेगी. Straight, clean, गोल गोल घुमा के जिलेबी जैसा बात करने वाले person है. उसमें से now you have to find out what he wants to say. Who is Vasudeva? Who is Vasudeva? Let us look at it from a very practical solution. Who is Vasudeva? Who is Vasudeva? Krishna. Yes or no? Any doubt on this? Krishna, na?
Krishna.
Vasudeva, you imagine Vasudeva telling Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Krishna telling Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Who is Krishna referring to now? Bhagavan. And who is Bhagavan? Who is a jnani? Who sees no difference between him and the Bhagavan. So what is wrong in he says Vasudeva Sarvamiti? समझ में आ रहा है? Is he referring to this form called Krishna or is he referring to that Chaitanya Atma called Krishna? Or Vasudeva, sorry. Are you getting it?
So this is like the Mahavakya. I am that.
Correct. Aham asmi. Aham replaced with Vasudeva.
Vasudeva.
Okay, that is one meaning. If you want to go that way. But then why should I consider Krishna talking like this? Why can't Krishna generalize it? So for Krishna it is Vasudeva Sarvamiti. For me it is Rajesh Sarvamiti. For you it is someone else Sarvamiti. Huh? Correct na? For Krishna it is Vasudeva Sarvamiti. For Arjuna, Arjuna cannot say Vasudeva Sarvamiti. He has to now replace Vasudeva by his name, correct? आ गया प्रॉब्लम वापस. We thought we got a solution, but वो ठीक है, temporary solution है, not sustained, not, it doesn't hold well. And that is where Shastras give a very beautiful meaning of this Vasudeva. Vasu, what is the meaning of Vasu? What is the meaning of Vasu? Where have you heard this word Vasu?
Vasu, Rudra, Aditya.
Okay, any other place?
Vasu is a Bhumi.
Vasu is the Bhumi. Any other? The day before Dhanatrayodashi is called what?
Vasubaras.
What is the meaning of Vasubaras?
The calf.
What? Calf. What is Baras? Baras can be considered as a short form of Barsat. Okay. What is the meaning of Vasu? Aishwarya. In the Vedic parlance, it is called Vasordhara. Aishwaryam fall continuously coming. What is Aishwaryam? That which will help me to progress, which is needed for me for my progress, is Aishwarya. It's a different thing that we are all considering what is Preyas as Aishwaryam. No, which is Shreyas is Aishwarya. When I have a stomach pain and I go to the doctor and he gives a kada, which is bitter to drink, that is Aishwarya. Because it is good for me. I may not desire it, but it's a good for me. What I desire, I want to get relief from the pain, I want to become healthy, and that is what I desire, for which the kada aids. So that becomes Aishwarya. Not which I like, which is good for me is Aishwarya. So Vasu Baras, Vasordhara, that Aishwarya Purti which will make me towards Purnatvam, that is Aishwarya. So Vasuhu means Aishwarya. Okay. Now the word Vasu comes as Vasanti Sarvani Bhutani Asmin Vasuhu. Such a beautiful derivation it is. Vasanti Sarvani Bhutani. Vasanti means what? That which is present. which is existing. Sarvani Bhutani, in all the living things. So what dwells in everything? What dwells in everything? Then Atma, Aspi. Okay. So Vasuhu Sarvani Bhutani Asmin iti Vasuhu, which is called existence principle. इसलिए हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, वो यहाँ पे बसते हैं. यहाँ पे बसते हैं मतलब क्या है? वसति इति वसु. समझ में आ रहा है? मीनिंग अलग है अभी. ओके, इट इज नॉट, वसु इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ अपरा प्रकृति. इट इज परब्रह्मन. When you consider Vasu Baras, Vasur Dhara, you are referring to Apara Prakriti, which is going to help me to go ahead. Saguna. Vasu is Nirguna existence principle. Sadrupa Brahman iti Vasu. Are you able to get this? Okay. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Vasuhu. Wherever Vasati is Vasuhu. That which is existent is called existence. So Vasuhu. Okay. What is Devaha? Deva has many meanings. One of the meaning of Deva is that which illumines. In Sanskrit, that which illumines is called Devaha. Okay. And what illumines? What illumines?
Knowledge.
What makes the knowledge illumine? Sat Kim. Come on. Tell the answer the way it is given in Tattvabodha. Sat Kim. Kalatrayepi tishtati iti sat. Vasuhu. What is the next question? Chit Kim. Jnana Swarupaha. Are you able to get now? Prakashayate Jnana Swarupa iti Chit. So Vasuhu equal to Sat, Devaha equal to Chit, Vasudevaha is equal to Satchit. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Satchidatma Sarvamiti. Isn't it correct now? What is the Jnani saying? What is the Jnani understanding? What is in what he is always there? Satchidatma. Iti Sarvamiti. So Vasudeva Sarvamiti is Sadatma, Chidatma, Satchidatma eva Sarvamiti. Yatra Sukhaswarupaha, Anandaswarupa, Satchidanandaswarupa, Atma Sarvamiti. There is nothing other than that. How nicely the derivation has come, see? And perfectly fitting. Are you able to get this? Is it too difficult? Huh? So, Vasanti Sarvani Bhutani Asmin iti Vasuhu Sadrupa Brahman. Chidrupa Devata Ishwaraha Swayam Prakashyate iti Devaha iti Chidrupa Ishwaraha. सद्रूप ईश्वरः चिद्रूप ईश्वरः सद्रूप ब्रह्मन् चिद्रूप ब्रह्मन् सच्चिद रूप ब्रह्मन् सर्वम इति. That person who is jnanavan, with that jnanam mam prapadyante, sa mahatma sa durlabha. He himself is talking that such a mahatma is so rare. That person who is in Satchidananda Swarupa Brahman, Nirguna Brahman, indeed is very rare. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Second shloka, correct? No, third shloka. Kaschidyatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. That mam vetti tattvataha kaschit siddhanam. Who are they? Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sa durlabha. Manushyatvam mumukshutvam mahapurusha samshrayah. Durlabam trayamevaitat devanugraha hetukam. Viveka Chudamani. Three things very rare. Durlabam trayamevaitat. It is very, very rare. What? Manushyatvam. Then mumukshutvam. And third is mahapurusha samshrayah. Mahapurusha samshrayah. Once he gets a guru, then Shravana Manana Nididhyasananantaram, that jnani says Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sa Eva Durlabha. Krishna is just resonating the same thing, nothing different. Is that clear? Okay. So, with this 19th shloka, Prashamsa of the Jnani has been done. So the Jnani, after introducing in the 16th shloka, Arto Jitnyasurartharti Jnani cha Bharatarshava, then he grades all the bhaktas and he says, my preference is for the Jnani. Then he didn't want to tell others are not so good, so he said others are also very good. But I have a special liking to this Jnani because he is my Atma. Why is he my Atma? Bahunam Janmanam Ante. He has finally come to this, that he will never fall down from this. He will always be in this, which means for him now more samsara is not required. For him moksha is the final one. And that person क्वचित हाथ गिन सकता है. मेरा I have many hands. मेरा 2 हाथ रहेगा तो भी मैं गिन सकता है वर्ल्ड में, उतने ही लोग हैं. स महात्मा स दुर्लभ. Says, now you have understood now? Okay, now let me talk to you about the first 3. You know that majority category. Majority among the minority category. Yeah? Majority बोलेगा तो out of Bhagavad Gita, out of syllabus. हम minority है with Bhagavad Gita. उसमें का majority. Who are they? Arto Jitnyasu Artharthi. Why? They are all Sakama Bhaktaha, Saguna Ishvara Bhaktaha. They use me to reach their needs. So now let me tell you something about them. So he is keeping up his word of clarifying everything about Ishvara. एक चीज छोड़ते नहीं है. तो वापस उधर से एक स्टेप पीछे जाके now he is going to explain that. कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्तीन्यदेवताः तन्तन्नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया. कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्तेऽन्यदेवताः तन्तन्नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियता स्वया. कामैः तैः हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः तं नियमम् आस्थाय प्रकृत्या niyataha swaya. Okay, how do we see it in the prose form? tais kamaihi hritajnanaha swaya prakrutya niyataha te ajnaninaha tam niyamam asthaya anyadevata prapadyante. Taihi, tai means those people, you know, when you say this person, that words are so important in Sanskrit. When you say this and those, what is the difference?
Near and far.
This person very close to me, those people very far away from me. ताई all those people, वो मतलब गटरी बांध के साइड पे कर दिया ना, वो सब लोग ताई those people कामैहि हृतज्ञानाः, कामैहि completely deluded by their own desire. Hritajnana, apahritajnanaha. Hrita means covered. Okay. Jnanaha, knowledge. What knowledge? Atmajnanaha. How it is completely abducted because of the kamaihi. Those people with that kama, thousands of desires. Correct? Apahritajnanaha, hritajnanaha, that is completely deluded from the true knowledge. मतलब भटके हुए लोग. स्वया प्रकृत्या नियताहा, स्वया one's own, prakrutya nature, niyataha decides the destiny, it takes them. You remember, see how nicely he has given all these points earlier and he is now connecting to that. He says Tribhir gunamayer bhavai ebhis sarvamidam jagatam. So he says, my three gunas are there in the Jagat. Then where is the problem? Mohitanna bijanati mame daivi hyesha gunamayi. So those people who just take these three gunas of mine and keep them as divine and don't get attached to them, for them there is no problem. But if they get attached through their sattva rajas tamo guna to my sattva rajas tamo guna in the Vishaya, then they are deluded. The Gunamayi is Daivi in them, the Gunamayi is Daivi outside. Everything is Daivi. Then where is the problem? Jnana apahritaha, that attachment comes. Who decides the attachment? Bhagavan doesn't decide attachment. Bhagavan has given everything. But who decides based on their likes and dislikes the attachment? You yourself. Okay. So that is where your own objective come into picture. Correct? And when your objective come into picture, you are deluded. So he says that delusion is going to create desires. Taistai kamaihi. So that many desires where your attachment are going to be there. Hritajnana. They are going to delude the Atmajnanam. And then what will you do? Anyadevataha prapadyante. So now you do not consider my Nirguna Swarupa and you go to the Saguna Swarupa of my Rama, my Krishna, my Shiva, my Devi, my Parvati, my anyone you call. You have gone to Saguna, Ishtadevata. Why? My Ishtadevata. Why do you like your Ishtadevata? In the house there is Kula Devata, in the house, but everyone has got their own Ishtadevata. Why? Because I know my Sai Baba will never, my Ram will never, my Krishna will never, my relationship लेके जोड़ दिया उधर और एक आस्था है उसके साथ. सो अन्य देवताः प्रपद्यन्ते. ठीक है. तो what happens? My gunas are connected to some gunas of this particular devata which has been portrayed, which has been taught, उसके साथ जुड़ गया, टाका भिड़ गया बोलो, तो ये मेरा इष्ट देवता हो गया. और एक या दो बार शिवजी बोल के एग्जाम लिखो, एग्जाम में नंबर आ गया तो शिवजी इज द ओनली गॉड, उसका पीछे झगड़ा, दुनिया पूरा झगड़ा है. शिवा बड़ा है कि विष्णु बड़ा है, अल्लाह भगवान अल्लाह बड़ा है कि जीसस बड़ा है कि ईश्वर बड़ा, ऑल झगड़ा इज ऑन दैट. आर यू एबल टू गेट दैट? सो तैस्तै कामैः हृतज्ञानाः अन्य देवता प्रपद्यन्ते. नाउ he very clearly calls them अन्य देवता. Why he calls them अन्य देवता? Because in this hierarchy he is antaram ramayati of the devata also. He is antaryami of the devata also. So the devata, अभी बोलते हैं ना, शिव बड़ा है कि शिव का बाहर बैठा हुआ नंदी बड़ा है. प्रॉब्लम उधर ही है, ज्यादा माथा नंदी के पास टेकना पड़ता है, शिव का तो प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है, शिव तक पहुंचने ही नहीं देता है ये नंदी. इन मेनी ऑफ द ऑफिसर्स दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम. करेक्ट? तो अन्य देवता becomes bigger. Whenever we are going to say, oh, what a fantastic gadget I have, or this thing, microwave, fantastic, this fridge is so good. Did anyone tell that blessed electricity is the best? Electricity क्या है? वो तो आना ही है, वो मीटर में वो तो आप पैसा देते हैं ना. अरे भैया वो नहीं आने दो, फिर तुम्हारा कौन सा भी बेस्ट गैजेट का क्या होने वाला है देखो. सो अन्य देवता becomes the gadget, saguna ईश्वरा, and that the main focus nirguna brahman is other than the anya devata. Everyone else where the guna comes, saguna comes, he has considered anya devata. Nothing to tell this or that or no names. Nirguna is one. I am alone in one group. The rest, everyone are together in another group. Because for me they don't exist. But for all the people only they exist. Anya devataha prapadyante. So what do? I nicely do the work like electricity. Okay. Prakritya niyata. What do? Tam niyamam asthaya anya devataha prapadyante swaya prakritya niyata. So based on the direction, their own nature, they get liked or hooked onto this anya devata. What do? Tam niyamam asthaya. In them, niyamam asthaya. Okay. These I go and resort in them. I tam in them niyamam asthaya, by taking to various discipline and worshipping. Ajnaninaha swaya prakritya niyata. So there is a driver which takes you to that particular path. Then in that path you continue to follow all the sadhanas, all the rules, all the regulation, and then with that astha, anya devataha prapadyante. Correct? Then you completely get into making that devata happy. It is true for artha and jijnasu. Because of your own kamaha, you and your nature directs you a particular way. Once you are directed in that way, then you follow all the rules and regulation to completely satisfy that, and then you try to make that particular devata happy. And what do? You will say, I only bless it. Tathastu. If you say, I like a washing machine, I'll say, current, tathastu. I bless the washing machine. If you say I like a refrigerator, Tathastu, I bless it. Are you getting it? That he will say in the next one. So first he says that multiplicity comes because of individual raga dveshas. Individual guna guneshu vartante. They go and connect, and when they connect, that much the bond is that then you follow all the rules to propitiate that particular God. And I have no problem. I just bless it. Tathastu, chalne do, gaadi chalne do bhai. All happy. From Ishvara's perspective, these devatas don't exist. From our Ajnani's perspective, there must be some Ishvara we don't know, but for me this devata is only there. Now there has to be a bridge. He says, I am inside that devata and makes that devata do whatever you want. Indirectly. सबका कारोबार चलते रहेगा. समझ में आ रहा है? My objective is to ensure that you remain astika and don't become nastika first. Then whenever that you exhaust that kamaha, that attachment, you will mature and you will go from artha to artharthi to jijnasu. Are you able to get that? But till you go based on your karma bala and prarabdha, I only support it. Mera kaam hai dharne ka, I will do that. Are you able to get that? That's what he says in this. So kamaistaistair kritajnana prapadyante nara anya devataha tam tam niyamamastaya. Niyama kam hai kya? वो करो, ये करो, सुबह उठो, वो दिन ये टाइम पे स्नान करो, फिर बाद में ये करो, फिर ऐसा करो, सब देयर आर हंड्रेड्स ऑफ नियम वी विल फॉलो. भाई नहीं तो वो भगवान को गुस्सा आ जाएगा. All niyamas will come now. And in that what? I have got stuck. Who decided the niyama? I. And who got stuck? I. Why? Because I never had that jnanam that there is something called para in the apara. I am stuck in the apara. In the gunas. In the saguna devata, I am stuck in the form but not in the principle. So you will say, principle keeping in the mind, you continue the form, then that is not a problem. Karma becomes karma yoga. In karma yoga, even if one or two misses are there, there is no problem. Why? Your objective is not to achieve a particular result. Your objective is chitta shuddhi. Are you able to get that? That already is told in the 3rd chapter. So we have to take from that, saying that convert the karma to karma yoga. The karma has a lot of niyama. In karma yoga, even if you miss a little niyama, doesn't matter. But we have to be very, very clear that I am going towards a principle and not going to get stuck in the form. I use the form. It's like I hold the pole to leave the pole. In a pole vault, I hold the pole to leave the pole. So to that extent, I have to hold it. समझ में आ रहा है? Because नहीं तो सब लोग you will go totally the other way around. नहीं नहीं ये कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. Everyone will end up becoming nastika, and that is what is not told here. Very clearly, Krishna has never told that. He says it starts this way. Slowly you will mature out. That is why bahunam janmanam ante he gives that earlier. It is not going to happen overnight. Correct? But how did it start? It started this way. Okay, so we will continue in the next class from 21st. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha. Okay, we'll start with that. And one more information about February. Next Saturday, Sunday, no class. Subsequently, yes. Uska subsequent Saturday, Sunday, no class. So alternate Saturday, Sunday only classes are there. तो आज हुआ, नेक्स्ट नहीं है. ऑड सैटरडे संडेज को क्लासें पकड़ लेना. फर्स्ट को हुआ, सेकेंड को नहीं है, थर्ड को रहेगा, फोर्थ को नहीं है अभी तक का. ठीक है. आई जस्ट पुट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑल्सो इन द व्हाट्सएप. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you sir.
Thank you.
धन्यवाद सर.
हरि ओम